community gardens to rooftop farms, urban agriculture is booming in Boston. In fact, we highlighted a farm school in last week's Focus report that is attracting people from the corporate world looking for a career change. But there is one part of the country life that city dwellers have been slower to embrace. Farm animals are still unwelcome in most neighborhoods, but that barn door may be cracking open just a bit. On a sunny day, Christy Smythe's backyard in Somerville is lush with plants, fruit trees, grapevines, and 2 colorful chicken coops. This is where she raises her chickens.
I had no idea that they are the wonderful creatures they are. Chickens are fantastic pets. They're hilarious. And 10 times better than TV.
Smythe's flock includes 12 hens, each with names like Gabby, Goldie, Wembley, and the aptly named Little Red.
Girls, you're going to have to get out of the way. Excuse me. I know, pardon me.
Smythe pulls out a freshly laid egg, one of 3 dozen or so they provide each week.
All right, girls. Thank you.
Looking to add a little country to her lifestyle, Smythe joined the urban chicken movement in 2008. She learned everything she could about raising chickens and built the coops herself.
It's a great way to produce a little bit of our own food, and now that I've done it, I'm solidly on board and advocating for everyone.
But neighbors don't always welcome backyard chickens, expressing concerns about noise, odor, and attracting critters like the proverbial fox in the hen house.
As far as noise and smell and pests, if they're managed well, which starts with making sure they have enough space in the first place, you can manage those concerns very, very easily.
When Smythe started out, Somerville had no rules on keeping chickens, so she helped the city develop an urban agriculture ordinance, the first of its kind in the Commonwealth.
Somerville is currently more progressive than Boston with regards to urban agriculture. The caveat to that, to give credit to Boston, Somerville is a lot smaller. It's a lot more manageable size city when it comes to city level management.
But Boston took a big step forward last year when it issued new standards for urban agriculture, including guidelines for chicken coops and another favorite, beehives.
Beekeeping is definitely a part of the future of urban living.
That's Noah Wilson-Rich, a scientist, beekeeper, and founder of the Best Bees Company.
I even put my thumb in to taste some of the honey that they were making, and it was delicious.
Located in the basement of a South End auto body shop, Noah's company installs and manages beehives in densely populated areas.
Boston has embraced beekeeping in a really positive way. City Hall has approved Article 89 for urban agriculture, and urban beekeeping is a big part of that.
Each hive is built by hand and installed on site, some 340 of them to date, providing homes for over 4 million honeybees working to keep gardens pollinated.
We found that many hotels in Boston and Cape Cod and surrounding areas are embracing bees as a way to draw in new customers. Many restaurants are using that fresh local honey in their bars and recipes too. It's been really great.
But even better than local honey or fresh eggs, Christy Smythe says her chickens are now part of the neighborhood.
They're a phenomenal community builder. I mean, I know my neighbors and so many other members of the community specifically because I have the chickens.
Looks like these chickens have definitely come home to roost. Okay, so can we expect to see more chickens and bees in the city? Tad Reed is a senior planner for the Boston Redevelopment Authority and part of the agency's Urban Agriculture Rezoning Initiative. Welcome, Tad, to Greater Boston.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
So it feels like we've kind of come full circle because for a while there, cities and towns were saying no to any kind of chickens or livestock. It wasn't considered sanitary or modern, really.
That's right. As the video, I think, acknowledged, in December, the BRA approved a new article, the newest article of the zoning code, Article 89, which introduces sweeping changes for urban agriculture in Boston. But Article 89 actually takes a more modest approach for the keeping in hens and bees for some of the reasons you outlined in the video, but more importantly, based on the structure of the zoning code.
So we have this very cool animated graphic that shows what areas of the city are permitted, which ones are kind of loosely conditional, and then the massive part of the city is just not permitted. So that's Alston, Brighton, up to the far left there. The densely populated area is the heart. The yellow is the heart of the city. So a lot of the city proper is conditional. What does that mean?
What conditional means is that two things are required: a public hearing before the Zoning Board of Appeals, and then you have to meet certain conditions, and those conditions are outlined in Article 89.
Because we had a neighbor who used to keep some chickens in downtown Boston, in the Back Bay. Is the Back Bay permitted?
The Back Bay is one of the neighborhoods where the keeping of hens and bees is conditional. Yeah. Interestingly enough, Article 89 did not change the rules about parts of the city where you could and could not keep hens and bees. What it did do is, for the backyard keeping of hens and bees, it introduced new regulations for the maintenance and management of those bees. Hens. For example, Article 89 says that you can have no more than 6 hens in your backyard, and it also sets forth other standards such as setbacks from the neighboring property, the size of the chicken coop, and other regulations.
So why are you just limiting this to bees and hens? Why doesn't it cover other kinds of livestock, pigs or something that people would... I see a potbelly pig around town. I'm sure you've seen it too.
That's right. So the existing zoning code before Article 89 actually already addressed the keeping of a number of different animals, including the ones that you've mentioned. So Article 89 focuses on the keeping of hens and bees because that's where the real interest was in the community, and we were trying to be responsive to what we heard in the community.
Yeah, it seems like people... I know a bunch of people in Jamaica Plain, anyway, who have bees. Is it as much hobby as it is the honey? Because it's, how much honey can you eat? In fact, I don't even like honey. It's like, is that mostly what they do it for?
I think so. I think there's a local and a growing interest in locally grown food, and I think this is a manifestation of that. And I think people like to be involved in producing their own food. So I think a lot of it is just an interest in knowing where the food comes from and having a role in creating it.
So in these areas that are totally permitted, what if a neighbor is really irritated, by noise, pollution, something else? Is there a process for them to go through, or is it, hey, it's legal, that's too bad? Absolutely,
there's a process. If there's a problem, first of all, even where it's permitted as of right, there's a set of rules. There's a permit called a live fowl permit that you have to get, and a set of rules that goes along with that. And if there's a problem, if somehow the hens or the bees get out of hand, you can make a call to the Inspectional Services Department, and someone will come out and inspect it, and if there is a problem, make sure that the owner remedies it.
So, Tad, while I have you here, you're going to approve Don Chafaro's new project?
Well, I can't say anything about downtown development, but I can say that we're opening up the doors to urban agriculture throughout Boston through Article 89.
That's a good way of getting around my question, isn't it? All right, Tad Reed, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.